all of these warlords be thrown into a well. And thus he even communicated with them saying, do you now see that which you lied? Do you now see that which you belied? He spoke to them. And Umar ibn Khattab said, how can you speak to them who are dead? What are you doing? He goes, Wallahi, they hear better than you do. Wallahi, they hear better than you do, but you cannot comprehend that. This was in the month, the blessed month of Ramadan, the second year after the migration, the battle, the great battle of Badr. As in the battle of Badr, the sacred month of Ramadan, likewise, was the time that the Almighty Lord blessed the believers with their greatest victory ever. In the 8th year after the migration, He blessed them with what? He delivered the sacred city of Mecca, it's just like on a silver platter. He delivered the sacred city of Mecca to the believers without any bloodshed, without any resistance. And with this victory, brothers and sisters, the Almighty Lord rescued this sacred, noble city from the yoke of filth, of shirk, association, and made it an Islamic city for eternal life. Thus the Islamic way of life was declared openly and the idols were smashed. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Al-Mustafa, he entered Mecca on his horse, riding. And as soon as he entered Mecca, the first thing that he did was go to the Kaaba. He performed tawaf around the Kaaba on his horse. On his horse. And as it's mentioned in Bukhari, there was approximately 360 idols around and in the Kaaba. So as he was doing tawaf, he had his sword. And with his sword he was pulling, pushing and pulling the idols while reciting a beautiful verse. وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقَّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. Indeed, the truth has come. At last, it's come. It's going to come eventually. And falsehood has perished. And look at this last bit of it. For falsehood by nature, wallahi, is bound to perish. Put that in your mind. This last part of it. For falsehood by nature is what? Memorize it. For falsehood by nature is bound to perish. Wallahi. And I think you understand what I'm trying to refer to. Falsehood by nature, ya bush, is bound to perish. Is bound to perish. How long would you live for? You are bound to perish. How much strategies and conspiracies against the Muslims are you doing? It's bound to perish. Ya bush, ya forest, ya bala, ya tla, ya khabif, ya hawad. All of you, you are all bound. Ya sharan, ya khanzir. You are all bound to perish. Wallahi, all of you. All of you are bound to perish. All of you. Thus, this is inshallah indefinitely. Ala tahqiq wa la at-ta'liq. And then he entered the Kaaba. And he destroyed, this is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he destroyed all the pictures in it. Thus he prayed 2 rak'at in the Kaaba. And he went to each corner of the Kaaba declaring, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. And then he stood on the door of the Kaaba, again, La ilaha illallah. You know, he's confronting over 100,000 companions now. La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamd, wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah Ta'ala. His is the sovereignty, to Him belongs all praise, and He is able to do all things. And then he recited, Ya ayyuhan nas, إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. O people, we have created you from a male and a female and have made you into people and tribes in order for you to know each other, to understand each other. And the most noble, the best of you are those who are God-fearing, are those who are God-conscious, are those who are righteous in the sight of the Almighty Lord. What a beautiful statement. The most noble in the sight of the Almighty Lord This was the statement of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, speaking the revelation that was sent to him at that time, that the most noble in the sight of Allah Ta'ala are not those who own mansions, are not those who own buildings, are not those who own car yards, who own properties and assets, are those who are most righteous, are those who are most God-fearing. Wallahi, he could be the poorest person on the earth, but he could be the most righteous person on the earth. And in the sight of the Almighty Lord, he is better than all creation. All creation. It's not how much you got in your wallet, it's what you got in here, with application. And thus, this was the time of the conquest of Mecca in the 8th year after the migration. Tonight was supposed to be an open discussion. I think I've prolonged that which I was supposed to not to prolong, which is the brief introduction about Ramadan. But sometimes time just flies away, and we all know that one of the signs of the hour is what? Time passing quickly. I did not notice it. I thought it was still about 10 minutes past 9. Tabarakallah. Allahumma musta'an. So one of the signs of the hour is that time passes quickly. And we actually witnessed it tonight. Subhanallah. So now I'll leave it to you guys. You are allowed to entertain us with any questions that you want, only referring back to Ramadan. No questions about any other issue but Ramadan. Fatafaddalu. Barakallahu fina wa fikum inshallah. When is Ramadan? Allah Ta'ala Alam. I have a Sunday or Monday. When the crescent is viewed, inshallah, we can inshallah judge then. If not, we continue Sha'ban 30 days, and thus Ramadan will be as normal on its first day. You're going to see these controversial topics now. Ramadan, inshallah, will be exposed to you guys. When it is, inshallah, don't you have to worry about that. Don't go and buy telescopes and any other equipment. Inshallah, ask the people of knowledge and you will be safe, inshallah. Na'am, ya Abdul Rahman. Salamatullah.
If a person is fighting for the cause of Allah, does he have to observe Ramadan?
If a person is engaged in holy war on the battlefield, is he obliged to fast in Ramadan on that particular way? It is better if he does not fast. It is better if he does not fast, because we all know that when you fight, you're going to lose a lot of energy. Correct? You need the energy to confront the enemy with. So it is better and more advised that you strengthen yourself and you do not fast. And this is witnessed in many narrations where many battles occurred in Islam, and the companions or their pious predecessors, our pious predecessors, did not fight in holy battles. However, you are allowed, as a companion said to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, can I fast? He said, yes, fast if you want to, and break your fast if you want to. Na'am, ya Abdurrahman.
You also have to make up for those days of fast.
Yes, a person must make up the days that he missed. Who makes up the days? A question can be asked, when does a person have to make up the fast? Who makes up the fast? Number one, those who make up the fast are a lady who's in her menses and postnatal bleeding. She has to make up her day. Number two, a sick person. Number three, a traveler. They are allowed, these three are allowed to make up the fast. Who are allowed to pay an expiation, a ransom? And a ransom is feeding a poor person per day. One poor person for each day you miss. So who are these? Who are they? Number one, the elderly, the frail elderly, we can say, the men or women who are unable to fast due to their age. Number two, the breastfeeding or conceived lady, pregnant lady. She likewise only has to feed a poor person for each day that she misses. Is there anyone else?
Like a person fighting for the cause of Allah. Does he have to...
Yes, the person who's fighting for the cause of Allah must make up that day on a later date. A person, I just mentioned, a person, very good question, Yazad. A person who has continuous sickness, who is unable to fast, whether in Ramadan or after Ramadan, he falls under the category of the elderly, where he has to pay for each day or feed for each day an elderly person. Na'am ya habibi.
If a person is going to get his wisdom tooth pulled out during Ramadan, he's going to have anesthetic.
He's allowed to break his fast and fast at a later date, inshallah. It's actually advised. نعم